Hey guys, today we're going to be predicting with probability. In order to predict, we're going to need to know how to set up a proportion. Let's try the first one. Emma found that the experimental probability of her making a bullseye when throwing darts is 20%. Out of 75 throws, about how many bullseyes could she predict she would make? Is it reasonable to say that she could make about 22? So we're going to predict if in general she gets bullseye at 20%. We're going to try to figure out of 75 throws how many she should make, and then we're going to see is 22 shots a good prediction. So 20%, in order to set up a proportion, we need to make this percent a fraction. For percentages, the actual number is going to go on top, and 20% is 20 out of 100%. So our fraction is going to look like this, 20 over 100. So let's go ahead and set the proportion up. So 20 over 100 is equal to, and then out of 75 throws. 75 throws is the total throws that she is going to try. And so the total is going to go across the denominator. Now, in order to solve this proportion, we're going to do what's called crisscross multiply, so 75 times 20. And then we're going to take that answer and divide it by 100. Okay, so let's try it. 20 times 75. 5 times 2 is 10, add a 0 because now we're on the next number. 7 times 0 and 7 times 2 is 14. And then we're going to take that answer and divide it by 100. Now I see 2 zeros inside, 2 zeros outside. There's a zeros trick. We can cross off 2 and cross off 2. So all this is 15 divided by 1. Which is just 15. So out of 75 throws, we would expect her to make about 15 bullseye. And so the second question, is this reasonable to say that she would make about 22? I think 22 is a little too high. It's not too far off. But this prediction here is a little high. Now, if they had predicted 17 or 13, somewhere around there, that may have been a better prediction. Alright, let's try the next one. So you roll a standard number cube 150 times. How many times would you expect to land on a number less than 5? So we're dealing with a standard number cube here. And they're going to roll it 150 times, and then we want to know how many times would they expect to land on a number less than 5. If you notice, I'm highlighting the important information. Now, when they say standard number cube, that is just talking about a dice. And so the numbers on a dice, let's list them out, would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then since we are predicting, it says how many times would you expect, let's set up another proportion. The first fraction is going to contain the odds of them rolling a number less than 5. Let's circle the numbers that are less than 5. Now, I'm not going to circle 5 because 5 is not less than 5 and 6 is not less than 5. So the odds of them rolling a number less than 5 is 4 out of 6. And so this fraction right here, since we're talking about the odds of rolling a number less than 5, is going to go into the first fraction, 4 out of 6. And then remember that the denominator is the total, 6 total sides, and the total times that they're going to want to roll the dice is 150. So we're going to put 150 across from the 6 for the total. And then remember, we do what's called crisscross multiply. So we're going to take 4 and multiply it by 150. And then we're going to take that answer and divide it by 6. So let's try it out. 150 times 4. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 5 is 20. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6. Okay, and then we're going to now take this answer and divide it by 6. Well, 600 divided by 6 is 100. 6 goes into 6 one time, and then bring up the 2 zeros. So out of 150 rolls, we could expect them to land on a 1, 2, 3, or 4 100 times. Alright, let's try one more. Kathy volunteers at her local animal shelter, and she has an equally likely chance to be assigned to the dog, cat, bird, or reptile section. If she volunteers 52 times, about how many times should she be assigned to a section that contains feathers? Alright, so again, we're predicting. It's asking about how many times would she be assigned. So here again, we're setting up a proportion, two fractions that are equal to each other. And we're talking about a section that has feathers. Well, out of dogs, cats, birds, or reptiles, the main one here that has feathers would be birds. And so that's one section out of 4 total sections. So we're going to put this first fraction here, or this 1/4 into the first fraction. Remember, the denominator is always the total, and we know that she's volunteering for a total of 52 times. So we're going to place the 52 down in the denominator, and we're going to do what's called crisscross multiply. So 52 times 1, which is still just 52. And then we're going to take that answer and divide it by 4. Four goes into 5 once. Let's subtract 4 with 1 left over. Bring down the 2. 4 goes into 12 3 times. So out of 52 times that she's going to volunteer, she could expect to be assigned to a bird section 13 of those times. Dogs, she should expect to go to the dog section 13 times, the cat section 13 times, the reptile section also 13 times. Each one has an equally likely chance, meaning she should get assigned to each one the same amount of times. Alright guys, that's predicting with probability. Just know if the question's asking you about how many times should she expect, or how many times would they expect again, or if it just says to predict, that's keywords for knowing to set up a proportion and cross multiply and divide. Thank you guys for watching.